Hi, this is Coach John, and we're going to talk about some ideas in the French. So, if you play the French defense, you're going to experience some things. Now, you all should be familiar with the advanced variation. And our idea basically is when we're playing the French to attack d4, the base of the pawn chain, originally in the position. And White can try a couple ideas. They might try this move, and we know we need to avoid, of course, taking this because this is, game over. But instead, what we do is, we oftentimes just develop our queen side, and maybe after they castle, what we want to do is we want to bring our knight to here. Maybe they play, I don't know, a move like this, and then we try to gain pressure on this square here on d4. And most of my guys, we know all that, so the question is, what do we do then if they do something different and a more advanced move, which is knight to d2? Well, we can play knight to f6, which attacks the pawn, so they got to push. And then we relocate our knight. They play a move like bishop d3, and we play c5. So similar ideas. We still want to attack the base of the pawn chain. Maybe they reinforce. We attack it again. They play knight to here. It's a pretty good move. Actually, knight to f3 is also probably more common. And going back to it, we get to the point where it's like, all right, well, let's attack again. And we have these two ideas with black. We play c5 to attack d4 and eventually f6 to attack e5. And the idea is to try to, to fight against the center. Let's go back to knight to c3, though. And so they could play knight to d2, or they could play knight to c3. And after knight to c3, we had studied a game. If you're a French player of mine, you know that you've seen that I showed you this game. We looked at the pawn structure here. White has a dominating center, so we got to try to fight against it. We do everything in our power. A6 is to make sure that knight doesn't hop into d6 eventually. After queen to d2, he tries to castle queenside. We get a good queenside expansion here. Don't be afraid to push those queenside pawns. Develop your bishop here to b7. This is the bad bishop in the French, so we're oftentimes trying to figure out what to do with that guy. Bishop to d3 castles. Now, you have to always be careful of castling with black. Oftentimes our king stays in the center. Here we've properly fought against this structure. The knight jumps back to e2. Here we try to come in with our knights. All very typical stuff. White went on to win this game, but it wasn't really due to the problems associated out of the opening. But anyways, to recap, we want to be able to attack that center multiple ways, c5 and with f6. Those are the two pawn breaks that you got to know when you're playing the tournament. Anyways, this is Coach John, and I'll see you guys later.